If you look at VeVe over this past year, you really can't deny the growth of the company. The growth is pretty obvious if you're like me and started with the app in March or April, as it's 10 times harder to secure a drop nowadays. Back in the day, you could still buy drops hours and hours after the fact. There wouldn't be any secondary market for you to sell on, so there would be a ton of stuff still available for retail price in the shops, which is absolutely crazy to think about now because it takes about under a second for a drop to sell out. Recently on Twitter, Sensor Tower put out a graph showing the growth that VeVe had over this past year. And as you can see here, the growth is exponential. And with the growth of metaverses and NFTs, I don't really see a company like VeVe slowing down anytime soon, due to the fact that they pride themselves on IP and licenses for these NFTs. With VeVe securing hundreds of licenses, they haven't even began to reveal all the licenses they have available. We've only seen a small amount of them hit the app, and there's still hundreds left yet to be revealed. With that being said, the way that VeVe separates all of these new drops are by seasons. So every couple months we'll switch over to seasons. Currently we're on season 3 right now, and we're seeing a lot of DC and Marvel, and we had the golden moments. There's a lot of drops that happened last month. If you remember back to my collecting video, I emphasized the importance of the first. When I talked about it, I emphasized a lot about first appearance, and don't get me wrong, that's very, very important to have the first appearance of a character, especially dependent on how popular that character is in the real world. For example, we have Wonder Woman and Hawkgirl releasing this Saturday at 8 a.m. December 4th. Wonder Woman actually is the second most popular superhero out there, so that's going to be one to look for. It's important to remember the first of everything. That's the real grail. And what does that mean? With hundreds of brands still yet to be released by VeVe, you're still going to see a ton of first appearances happen, as Marvel has about 3,000 characters, DC has another couple thousand, and it just gets ridiculous with the amount of first appearances that appear. And this all ties back to why I believe that Season 1 is the most important season of them all, as this is the genesis of this app. I wanted to quickly take a look at the less obvious ones that I believe are most valuable in Season 1, as when I talk about Season 1, I always bring up Todd McFarlane, and I talk about the first ever black and white set, as there is the Eduardo Riso Batman and everything like that being the first ultra rare. I kind of wanted to talk about some collectibles that I believe are priced right now in the hundreds that are a little bit more affordable, and that I believe in a couple of months from now they will be completely out of reach and maybe not even sold in the marketplace. So starting off this list is going to be the entire black and white series. I believe that the entire black and white series will have such a huge significance down the road, as these collectibles are starting to grow in popularity in the real world due to the VeVe app. I myself have went out and purchased a Todd McFarlane statue in real life because of the VeVe app, and I believe that down the road we're going to see all 100 of the black and white series toys in real life in the VeVe app. So looking back at Season 1, there's a couple that I wanted to pick out from this and explain the significance of these particular ones. And the first one's going to be the Jim Lee Joker. And the reason why I picked this one as my first one here in this set is going to be the fact that he is one of the most iconic villains out there. The Dark Knight did such a great job at the box office, and the Joker has been such an iconic villain for so long. And the other one in the black and white set that I believe is going to do really well is the Bruce Timm Harley Quinn. And that's going to be the first appearance of Harley Quinn. She's also a very iconic villain in the show, and in 5 to 10 years, collectors will be flocking towards this. Harley Quinn has had her own set in the black and red series. She was the first drop for Season 3. As we get more and more variations of Harley Quinn, this will be one to look out for. The next set on my list that I believe is going to do really well is the Powerpuff Girls. And the reason why I say this is that both seasons of the Powerpuff Girls are in Season 1. And you have Donnie as the most expensive NFT on the app at the moment, sitting at $100,000 if you're excluding the 7-ticket James Bond ticket. And the reason why I believe this set would be valuable is I spent a lot of time watching the Powerpuff Girls growing up. And when this set came out, it actually was exclusive to China. So I saw these collectibles sitting in the shop, and I couldn't buy them because it was exclusive to China. So I'm not telling you to put $100,000 on the Donnie, as I believe the reason for that is due to the scarcity, but characters like Blossom, Buttercup, Mojo Jojo, and the Mayor of Townsville are running within the hundreds, and I believe that these are still great pickups, as down the road, when we have more Powerpuff Girl characters, these will stand the test of time. The next one on my list is actually the vehicles. So in Season 1, we saw the Ecto-1 and we saw the DeLorean. And why I think these are important, and I know many people will be looking at these asking why these will be valuable, as there's a lot of them available in the store in a high mint, common, rare, and ultra rare, but I believe that these will have a bigger use case in the future in the VeVeverse. So let me explain my thought behind that. The company has come out and said that they want their company to look like Ready Player One, and that's their end goal. That's a very, very ambitious goal. And if you watch the movie Ready Player One, the main character's car is actually the DeLorean. The DeLorean was initially drivable on some phones when they first launched. So I believe that the DeLorean and the Ecto-1, that there is a bigger plan down the road. And I believe every single rarity will have its own use case. As in the future, if you want to go for a race, potentially, if you have an Ecto-1, you might be able to rent it out to somebody. This is just my speculation, and you shouldn't take it as fact, but I see it being more plausible than not. And the last set on here that I think is a good pickup is going to be the Ultraman set. So Ito was the last character to complete this entire set that was held for a very long time and was most recently released at the end of season 2. I believe that Ito is going to be very, very popular overseas, as when this set came out, vice versa to the Powerpuff Girls, this set was only available in North America. Right now, the VeVe app is only available in English. And as the app grows, the team has already mentioned that there will be multiple language support on the app. When this happens, I believe that this set will blow up, as Ultraman is very popular overseas. I believe in China, Ultraman is equivalent to Superman here in North America. And so I believe that this set will be a great hold for the long term as well. A couple years back, I had this nostalgic moment and I really wanted to go and I wanted to collect Pokemon cards again. And I went on eBay and I looked for a base set unlimited Charizard, the one that I grew up with. And as a kid, I never actually got my hands on one of them. And I looked on eBay and they were selling for about $50. I remember thinking to myself that that was too much, and so I didn't obtain one. I ended up paying $600 for my first base set unlimited Charizard around the time of the lockdowns, where everyone decided to relive their childhood at the same time. And so I'm not saying that this is going to happen, and I'm not saying this is going to happen with VeVe Collectibles, but with mass adoption coming in at such a fast pace for the metaverse and NFTs, I'm willing to place my bet on the one horse that has all the IP, all the premium licenses for all these different collectibles, and hundreds of brands. I'd say that's a pretty safe bet. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.